Day 7 of the 27-day mobility challenge here at the Reprogram. We have started analysing the lower body now. So the first 5 days were the upper body, we're now going on to the lower body, and yesterday was our first go at performing the seated squat. An excellent drill to put people into to try and diagnose these functional issues such as lower back pain, knee pains, etc., etc. And today we are going to move on to the active pigeon. Now, a lot of you would have seen for yourself that the seated squat wasn't as easy as it looked. You may have found that some of you wouldn't have even got into it. You probably would have fallen backwards, a bit frustrating. But now we're going to move on to sort of working in more of a unilateral manner, because obviously we're not kangaroos, we don't move like this. We are contralateral beings by nature, okay? So it's really important that we assess unilateral balance either side of the hip. What we see is if we are tight in the external rotator on one side, particularly people who sit at a desk where they kind of cross their leg over one side, when they're sitting on the chair and they just have a habit of crossing the left leg over the right and sitting there for hours on the computer, or all these sort of strange habits. A lot of us have these patterns that we will go one side but not the other. What happens is the other side suffers, and when we see people perform at maximal capacity, i.e. like sprinting or in field sports, they'll come off after playing the game, and later on that evening they'll complain of things like back pain. Or they'll wake up in the morning and have back pain, all right? So what happens is we get an imbalance of rotational force transfer across the spine, and it puts an unusual amount of torque on one side, and if it carries on, we're liable to do some damage. So we're going to move on to a drill called the active pigeon, and this will also give you more of an idea of why, if you couldn't perform the squat, why you can't. It will really isolate those joints out and give you a broader picture of why you can't perform that seated squat position. Okay, so without further ado, I'll put you down and I'll show you what the active pigeon looks like and talk you through it from there. All right, so this is what the active pigeon looks like. You are going to start with 1 foot forward, 1 foot back in the lunge position. The first job for you to do is you're going to try and get this basic pigeon position. We are trying to express full external rotation of the hip and the hip flexion as well, okay? Not only that, but the hip extension angle is really important. So this is already kind of going to be extreme for a lot of you, but do your best. I'll show you what it looks like first in terms of the optimal version of the active pigeon pose, or the hip mobility that we're looking at. Okay, so hands behind the head. So I'm in this pigeon pose. What I want to see is you want to have your big toe lined up with the knee. Okay, that's what we look for first. You position it like that. The big toe must be in line with the knee. If you have the leg too far down, you're not going to express that rotation adequately, and it's going to hit more the glute medius on the side of the hip here. So bring that up, and if you go too far, you'll soon find out yourself that you can't actually even get in position to start. You'll put too much torque on the knee as well. Okay, so big toe in line with the knee. Second stage is that you'll notice my back foot is internally rotated. This is very important because in extension, when it comes to like the position, we have like an open pack and a closed pack position of a joint. When we wind up that capsule in internal rotation and extension, it increases the stability of the joint, right? Think of it as like if I have a capsule like this and like a cloth and I wind it up, it just winds up the capsule around it, that film, that fibrous film around it, and twists it and creates more torque in the joint, more stability, and I feel much more stable and safe, okay? And it also biases out hip extension and really works those hip flexors as well in terms of the stretch mechanism. Right, so that's the first stage. The second stage is we now have to make it active. So our hands go behind our head, we lower ourselves down, chest touches the leg, and we come back up. So we're using those external rotators, those powerful rotators, the piriformis, the obturator group, the gemellus, and we're using all those little muscles to stabilize to pull ourselves back up, as well as a bit of the glute med and glute max as well. But we're really using that to control actively through external rotation, which we don't usually see, okay? All the way through. So I do about 5 of those before a warm-up for my lower body day. And of course, you switch sides. So really important, because what you're looking for in these unilateral screening tools, unilateral meaning right leg and left leg individually. Obviously, we like I said, we're not kangaroos. We don't move like this, okay? If we did move like this, squatting and deadlifting would be much more beneficial for us than it actually is. We're contralateral, i.e. we have a sling system that allows us to generate momentum. When the right leg goes forward, the left shoulder goes forward. When the left leg goes forward, the right shoulder goes forward. And this is controlled by the oblique sling system, anterior and posterior, and I'll go into that in videos further down the line. But right now, I just want you to give this a go. And it will give you a bit more insight as well into why you can achieve that squat template yesterday. If you struggled with it, this will highlight more reasons. It might tell you that the problem's more in the hip than it is in the ankles. And the main reason we do these unilateral screenings is to measure the potential torque or imbalance of rotational forces across the lower back, across the spine. Because if we have one leg tighter than the other, and most of us do, it is going to interfere with the balance and the connection of those muscles into the lower back, okay? Remember, we use the lower back as a stabilizing point to rotate the thoracic on. So if we already have more pull on one side than the other, it's going to cause an imbalance in the compression across the discs. It's going to cause issues in terms of like flexion either side and general movement balance, okay? So give it a go. Thanks for listening. Just try and do a couple of reps if you can access the first stage. And as usual, if you can't access the beginning stage, stop, okay? If it hurts, stop. Treat it as a fail. And as we progress through these 27 days, I'll show you how we can actually improve it. Oh, and one more thing as well, to show you what it will look like if you fail it. A lot of you will go into this position. A lot of you will be like this. You'll be struggling with this. The leg will be dropped down, and you'll kind of be up here, or you'll be sort of doing this, and this leg won't even be on the floor. If you can't access that first stage, just stop. It's a fail. All right? Thanks for listening. If you want to check me out at www.thereprogramonline.com, there's a whole screening tool there. It's absolutely free, and it gives you a really good result sheet of injuries you're liable for. If you already have an injury and you're struggling with pain, it will tell you why. It will give you the causation, and it will show you how to fix it. Okay, and there's a full program that takes you from pain all the way through. It's 3 main stages: reset, reintegrate, reinforce. Okay, so think of it as a program that just encompasses physical therapy and strength and conditioning all in one course. Okay, gets you from pain to performing really well. All right, thanks for listening. Check this out. Hi there, I'm Andrew Graham, founder of the Reprogram Online, and if you're here, it's likely because you are feeling the frustration of a body that just isn't performing the way it used to. Maybe it's the nagging joint pain, the frequent injuries, or the simple truth that despite all your efforts, you're not seeing the results you desire. As a busy professional, I understand how valuable your time is. You want a body that not only performs well, but one that you can enjoy and that you know is capable of handling whatever life throws your way. Yet, finding the right path in today's fitness industry is like navigating an untamed jungle of misinformation, quick fixes, and empty promises, often leaving you frustrated or worse. That's why I created the Reprogram, a comprehensive training system designed to not only build a strong athletic physique, but to do it in a way that prioritizes injury prevention, joint health, and longevity. By merging concepts from physical therapy and strength and conditioning, the Reprogram targets and alleviates the very issues that are keeping you from moving forward. Starting with our free mobility assessment, we will identify these issues, as well as your potential risk of injury, and design your training program based on your results. You see, many people think they need more, but often what they really need is better. It's not about lifting the heaviest weight or doing endless reps. It's about focusing on what truly matters so that you can build a body that's not only aesthetic, but resilient. A body that works with you, not against you. The Reprogram is built for men who understand that their body is their most valuable asset and who refuse to let joint pain and past injury dictate their future. Using the 3-stage training system, you'll regain your mobility, correct muscle imbalances, and improve your posture, all with minimal equipment. I mean, imagine a life where you're not just managing pain, but actually eliminating it and getting stronger every day. Believe me, I understand the frustration of trying to stay active when your body seems to resist every step. But with the right approach, that frustration can quickly turn into fuel for change. The Reprogram is designed to respect your time and deliver results in a way that actually teaches you about your body. So, are you ready to break the cycle and unlock your potential? Then I invite you to start your journey today. Remember, this is about you, investing in your future, your health, your quality of life.
Click the Get Started button to begin your free mobility assessment. I'm Andrew Graham, and I'm here to help you banish pain, optimize mobility, and unleash strength one step at a time. Let's get started.